Cornerbacks. There's a lot of depth at the cornerback position. Over under 3.5 CBs drafted in the first round. Dan?
I got to go with the over because of the guys that you have rising in the draft right now. Darqueze Dennard and Justin Gilbert seemed like the two locks to be first-round picks, but coming up in probably the latter part of the first round, probably between 24 and 32, I think guys like Bradley Roby, Kyle Fuller will both be taken.
And I say under for that reason too, because Darqueze Dennard and Justin Gilbert have solidified themselves in the top half of the first round. But you look at guys like, as you mentioned, Roby, and then you talk about Verrett possibly from TCU slipping in there. There's a lot of variety of cornerbacks that can slip in the first round. I just don't know if there's guys that will solidify at the bottom half of the first round. I'll say under.
Kyle Van Noy of BYU and Ryan Shazier, another Buckeye that we're talking about in this segment. Two very, very similar players. Which one would you take, Tyler?
I'm going to avoid the Buckeye yet again. I'm going to take Kyle Van Noy of BYU. We understand that he played at BYU, less than stellar talent around him, but he was a rising star and a shining star. And although Shazier's combine numbers really were a telling story of how good he could be, you can't take too much stock into the combine. And Van Noy, I think, a little bit more of a smarter, more of an aggressive linebacker who always puts himself in the right position to make the plays. I think that transitions well to the next level.
And I'm going to disagree with you, Tyler. I think that Ryan Shazier is the more athletic linebacker between the two.
Buy or sell, does he drop out of the top 15?
I got to sell that one. He's definitely going to be in the top 15. You got the Lions, the Giants, and the Pittsburgh Steelers all looking for help at the cornerback position. I'd be shocked if he makes it out of there.
I would sell it as well, and the reason being is I don't think he makes it past Pittsburgh.
First thing, I don't want to knock my brother David. He was a great quarterback, fell in a little luck with the Texans, but the reasons why I'm better than my brother David. Athleticism being the first thing.
The first question, the safest pick in the NFL draft is who?
Jake Matthews. He's the best offensive lineman in the draft, and he's ready to start day one.
Yeah, I agree with Chris. I think best pass protector in this draft. He's got the family pedigree with the Matthews name. No question, Jake Matthews.
Aaron Donald is certainly rising up the ranks as a defensive tackle, kind of bumping down Timmy Jernigan of Florida State. Does he fall out of the first round?
I think he does. There's a lot of talent at the defensive tackle in this draft, and I think Jernigan gets bumped out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close, but Jernigan definitely at the top of round 2.
The quarterback with the most potential in this year's class.
Johnny Manziel, because he's such a raw talent that if he gets developed, he's really going to be something in the NFL.
I think in Central Florida's Blake Bortles. I think when you look at the arm strength, he threw the best spiral, tightest spiral I think I saw of any quarterback this year.
We already answered who's the safest pick. Now let's go to who's the riskiest.
The riskiest pick is Mike Evans, the wide receiver from Texas A&M. He's such an athletic receiver, but his routes aren't wonderful, and he's really going to need a good coach to coach him up.
Yeah, I think it's Greg Robinson, offensive tackle. Auburn, he hasn't played that much. We've already talked about the sizes there, but really I think he's very, very risky.
Percentages, Tyler, that the number 1 overall selection to Houston is Khalil Mack.
Well, I'll say 30%. I'll go a little bit lower. I know Ryan Stevens will be saying that his pick is Khalil Mack at number 1, but I'm going to say that he'll fall a little bit. I think number 1 overall pick will be Jadeveon Clowney.
You know, last week Peter King came out and said a source close to the Texans GM said that they like Khalil Mack the most. I'm going to go 10% on this one because I still think Johnny Manziel and Jadeveon Clowney are better options for them, and more likely Jadeveon Clowney is the better player, so it would be smarter to take him over Khalil Mack at 1.
True or false, the Cleveland Browns select a quarterback in the first round?
Tyler, I have to say true on that one. Cleveland does not have a true number 1 quarterback. That's what you have to win in the NFL, and I think that they're going to take one with the 4th overall pick.
I agree. I also think it's true, but I don't think it's with that 4th overall pick. This is a very deep Cleveland team. They had a lot of Pro Bowlers last season. If they go out at number 4 and take a guy like Sammy Watkins, he's a great deep threat complement to Josh Gordon.